What if one of the greatest rock bands in history wasn't held together by magic, but by tension? Led Zeppelin.
Just went into a courtyard, sat down with them. There was all this kind of incense and stuff floating around.
The name alone shakes walls. The riffs, the thunder, the chaos. They weren't just music, they were a revolution. But behind the stage lights and the sold-out stadiums was a battle few ever saw. Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, two rock gods. One, the golden-haired voice of the generation. The other, the mastermind with a guitar that could split the sky. To the world, they were the perfect duo. But behind closed doors, they were on two different planets. Now, decades later, Robert Plant is finally talking. And what he's saying changes everything we thought we knew about Led Zeppelin. Let's break it down. From the start, Jimmy Page wasn't just the guitarist. He was the architect, the boss. Every note, every solo, every song arrangement, it ran through him. He wanted total control. And for a while, that worked. But Robert Plant, he wasn't built to play second fiddle. He wanted a say in the lyrics, in the direction, in the soul of the music. And when he didn't get it, that fire that fueled his voice started burning in another way. Resentment. Recording sessions became war zones. Arguments over lyrics. Fights over sound. Page wanted to stay rooted in the mystic blues. Plant wanted to evolve, try something new, something real. Every clash, every silence, every moment of tension, it all stacked up. And then life hit harder than any argument ever could. In 1977, Robert Plant lost his 5-year-old son, Karak. It shattered him. He wanted out of the spotlight, out of the band, out of the machine. But Jimmy Page, he didn't stop, couldn't. To him, Led Zeppelin had to keep moving. The legacy was bigger than any one man's pain, bigger than grief, bigger than life itself. But to Plant, that wasn't strength. That was cold. That's when it all changed. That's when the cracks became canyons. And while Plant was grieving, Page was spiraling. His heroin use, undeniable. His performances, sometimes brilliant, other nights. He was barely there, lost, distant. And it wasn't just the drugs. Jimmy's obsession with the occult, the dark stuff, got deeper. Symbols, rituals, a vibe that went from edgy to straight up eerie. He bought Aleister Crowley's old mansion. Rumors flew. People said he was doing rituals in there. Others laughed it off. But Plant, he didn't laugh. He started to worry. The music didn't feel like freedom anymore. It felt like a cage. And Plant, he wanted out. By the time the band lost drummer John Bonham in 1980, that was it. Zeppelin was done. But Page, he wouldn't let go. He tried for years to bring the band back. Reunions, comeback tours, revival attempts. But Plant kept saying no, again and again. And why? Because for him, Zeppelin wasn't just broken. It was buried. He didn't want to relive the chaos. He didn't want to be a puppet in someone else's legacy. He wanted to move on, to make music that he could feel again. Page saw it as betrayal. But for Plant, it was survival. And it didn't stop there. John Paul Jones, the quiet genius in the back, was left out of reunions. Not even a phone call. After years of being in the shadows, that was the final cut. And when Page tried working with the Black Crowes in the 2000s, that didn't last either. Why? Same reason. Control, vision, ego. And then came the lawsuits. Claims that Zeppelin's biggest songs weren't totally original. That some riffs, some melodies, were taken from smaller, forgotten artists. Suddenly, the guitar god had to defend his legacy in court. Behind the legend, a storm. Even in his personal life, Page became more and more isolated. The addiction, the secrecy, the walls he built around himself. Fame had made him immortal, but it had also left him alone. Today, the world still worships Led Zeppelin, and they should. The music, timeless. The power, undeniable. But don't get it twisted. The band didn't break from age or timing. It broke because inside all that greatness was pressure, and pain. Plant and Page might smile for the cameras now, but the scars, they're real. And as Plant finally speaks, we see it clearly. Led Zeppelin wasn't just a band, it was a battlefield. A place where genius met grief, where control crushed connection, and where two men gave us music that changed the world while quietly falling apart. So next time you hear Stairway to Heaven or Kashmir, just know, those songs weren't born from harmony. They were born from war, and that's what made them real.